Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the June 10th Al-Anon readings, Encouraged to Change, and a little time for myself. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Took a little extra time with that. All right, I will take a moment and look this over. The question is, how does become willing to make amends benefit me? And it's about step 8, which is made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all, which is also the quote. So this person is describing how they were preparing to make amends to their parents, but they felt a lot of resentment. And this person's sponsor help this person to see that even when we are protecting ourselves, we may be causing damage to people unintentionally. So the sponsor helped this person to see their parents in a more compassionate light. So I'm going to try, it's tricky to paraphrase, but so this person had resentment towards their parents. So the sponsor had, because their parents thought that they were like a troublemaker as a child, but the person says they were only protecting themselves against against their parents, how they grew up. So the sponsor said to this person to ask their parents about their own childhood and how they felt, and then be compassionate. So this person is saying they ask their higher power to become willing to be compassionate towards their parents. Today's reminder: we work step 8 for our own recovery so we can be loving and compassionate. And of course, the quote was step 8, which I read at the beginning. So how does becoming willing to make amends benefit me? Wow. So this is I'm thinking 2 different things. I'm thinking about when I worked step 8 the first time, because step 10 is we're always making amends as necessary, but step 8 is that first list. And I remember when I first showed my sponsor, it was just ridiculous because it was basically every interaction I ever had with anybody. And of course that's not realistic. I don't have to make amends for being human. Just, the sponsor is really helpful in this process because it's challenging to know who I really harmed and who I didn't. And as far as having resentments towards my parents, my mom passed away in 2008, and I feel like she had a very slow, long death. And I feel like we resolved a lot of the issues that that we had, or I understood her a little bit better, let's put it that way. And even after her passing, I continue to see things from the point of view as an older woman, and I feel like I understand her more. And I always feel her presence. In different situations, it's stronger than others. Um, and it's always like a loving, protective, caring energy, that presence that I feel. So that's good. And as far as my dad goes, as you know, my dad is going through a crisis right now of the most profound type, um, trying to take care of my stepmom. And as you also know, he just turned 87. So my stepmom is at home. I'm going to see them today. No services have begun. If you've been through this, you know that it's a crazy maze of calling and waiting for people to call back and waiting for things to begin. And it's just, if I didn't have my program, I would probably need medication right now. I'm just working really hard. Like, my life is definitely not balanced right now. Definitely not. But I'm working really hard. Like, I'm making my videos. I'm trying to get at least 20 minutes of exercise a day. Actually, well, let's say 20, but it's really more like 30 or 40. Trying to drink enough water. Trying not to eat too much crap. Full disclosure, right now I'm making walnut brownies, and I'm having a brownie ice cream sundae before I go. But I'm also bringing brownies to my stepmom because she's not eating and she loves chocolate, so maybe she'll have a brownie. But I say that kind of jokingly, that I'm having an ice cream brownie sundae. It's 100% true, but like it's not like I've like eaten all my food for the day and it's 7 o'clock at night and I'm eating a brownie sundae. Like, I eat brownie sundaes. I just do them within like the time that I eat, and then I like balance it with the other things that I eat during the day. Is it the most nutritious? No, but I had a very nutritious breakfast. So that being said, do I feel resentment towards my father? Not now. I think any resentment that I could possibly feel, we've been through a lot together. I have long since worked through a lot of the feelings that I needed to regarding my dad, knowing that he has always done the best he can and that he's always shown his love for me in the best way that he can. And at this point, it's really about survival and showing love and compassion and just being there to support him. And I know this can get very ugly. It happened when my mom was dying. Me and my brother, we got along amazingly. We did an amazing job together. We do really well together in crisis situations. It's pretty amazing because we are so different in our thinking. So different in our thinking. Like, we find some of the same like weird things funny, which is hilarious, and I really love that. But I need to pause. The brownies are ready. So I think I was saying that my brother and I can pull it together and work together even though we're so different. But I know that it can be very messy because we're humans and we have bad days and we get emotional, and we get emotional at different times. So my brother called last night and he was talking to me, and he got a little upset with what I said. And I was a little strung up, and I said something that I wouldn't normally say. I said that I was concerned that my dad was going to start declining and die soon after my stepmom because this is so taxing on his entire system. And he's lived for the love of his life for over 40 years. And like, this is common, but like, my brother he didn't want to hear it and he got upset. And I probably was out of line because I'm like going way too much forward. I need to stay in the day. Part of it is just making sure that I do everything I can, say everything that I need to say to my father and my stepmom, because I do feel like this is, quite possibly the beginning of the end. it's more than the beginning of the end for my stepmom, but I think it may be the beginning of the end of my dad. And that's a very, 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 very big deal. So how does willing, I didn't even address the question, how does willing to make amends benefit me? Well, it's just freeing. When I made my amends, I felt free. So, and that's even going ahead, because just being willing means that I'm open to recovery and open to healing and open to that feeling of freedom. Oh, guess what? Step 8. I'm going to read this. Beautiful. So this is basically a suggestion on how to approach step 8. So this was given to the person who wrote this passage by their sponsor, dividing the list into 3 categories: those who they were willing to make amends, who they might be willing to make amends, and who they absolutely would not make amends to. And of course, that's step 9, is when you actually make the amends. And this person says that once they became open and they started the process, they found that people shifted. So like some maybes went to the I will do this, and then some of the nevers went to maybes. So, and this person said it felt good to get rid of the guilt and to own up to their responsibilities. And today's reminder, we don't have to worry about doing step 8 and step 9 perfectly. We just do what we can do. And the quote is from Confucius. You can go as slow as you need to go, just don't stop. And of course, that's a paraphrase. So the steps are so good, and I feel like I'm always working them, and I'm always understanding them better, and I'm always becoming more familiar. And I think it always has a positive effect. That's a lot of alwayses. But I think it has definitely has a consistent positive effect on me. We'll close out with the serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.